At long last, it's time to return to the Parliament of Shockwave. From Transformers Prime Cyberverse, this was the Cyberverse Commander Class Shockwave, a mini Prime Shockwave done in the color scheme of the SDCC Shockwave. This particular Shockwave would have come in a 2-pack alongside not Bomb Shock, but Hard Shell. Actually, flip that around, it would have come with Bomb Shock as opposed to Hard Shell. And overall, I think that this is one of the better looking Prime Shockwaves, especially if you're willing to make him a little bit gorilla armed and lose the elbow articulation. You look at that, he's just a perfect little mini representation. Looking over the figure, you have a good universal here in the shoulder, as well as a little bit of impairment by the shoulder pad, admittedly, but you can make it work. Ball joint at the elbow. Ball joint for the monster gun arm as well. Nothing in the head, nothing in the waist, but a ball joint at the hip. And a really nice little piece of articulation down here where we have the knee and an upper leg cut, and also a little bit of foot articulation. Overall, a very well articulated Shockwave, basically as well articulated as the Voyager Prime Shockwave if he had, the neck joint. The sculpting on the figure is very solid, especially considering Cyberverse of the day. You can see all of the details of the monstrous Shockwave head here, even though it could have used a touch of paint. And yes, the yellow eye was inaccurate for the show, but it is accurate for that SDCC Shockwave, a more G1 style Shockwave, and it's the version I've been able to track down. I'd like both, but I'm happy with this one, because he does look very nice. The tank mode is admittedly somewhat rough, and this is where I'm going to have complete cards on the table, guys. My arm injury is still a thing. I can use the hand. I still don't have full control of my fingers. So I did the best I could here. I think there is more that can be done, but for the life of me, I don't have the dexterity to actually do it right now. But even still, I do like the tank mode here. Very similar to the Voyager. Very similar transformation as well. And what's really cool is that we have a missile to go with the Shockwave. And we can put it into the gun barrel, like so. Make sure that you actually get it into the groove. Oh, come on. Why aren't you going? There we go. And then you just take this. Here, we're going to zoom out. You just take the barrel here and you pull back. Or actually, you pull forward, don't you? Pull forward. It's friction fire, it's not the best, but, it's something. And it's not like it messes up the figure, it being here. It does make the articulation a little bit weird, but I've seen worse gimmicks. I like it. I did also want to show this to you guys, because I'm curious anyone would ask. You are able to do it in the robot mode as well. So, just again, boop. Again, it's a decent little thing. No spring means that there's no way that this will ever break on you, which is nice, but friction fire is never the best way to do a missile gimmick, and it also means that the missile has a chance of being lost, and then you don't have a complete shockwave. It's kind of a lose-lose in a lot of ways, but it's a decent little gimmick for a decent little shockwave. Not the best shockwave, not the best prime shockwave, not the best legend scale shockwave, but a good shockwave. And a treasured member of the Parliament of Shockwave. Here we have the Parliament, as always, everyone accounted for, so that they can welcome in this newest member. So, our little Prime Shockwave here. Keep in mind, his dad is definitely pulling some strings. However, this is not going to be enough to enter the Council of Shocks. Already, the Vice Chair and the Premier, the Prime Minister, have said no. So, can this Shockwave at least be a member of the ambassadorship? Also no. I think I know where this Shockwave's fate lies. It's with Shock Blart. So Shock Blart, you no longer have to be alone in the security detail, but that does mean one thing. Come along, my little good Legend Skull Shockwave, because it's time for you to put the boots to him! And put the boots to Shock Blart! We have returned to the Council of Shockwave, and the Parliament of Shockwave in general. And also, that's a really good Shockwave. I like that Bumblebee movie Shockwave. I've just been thinking about him a lot lately. That's why they're the vice chair.